9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk. If you're just watching, welcome back. If you're not just watching, welcome to WWT Live, the Friday edition. My name is TK Trinidad, and we're here to bring you the latest news in all women's wrestling. Now, if you're from a city or a state or a country, like, rep your city. Tell us where you're watching, where you're hailing from. Our super chats are enabled, so please continue to help support the show. Help Ced get to all the NXT shows. Help Will pay for all his subscriptions, all the things. Help Ced Christina to Vegas to see the WoW show. All of that will be helpful. We show love with $2 donations or more, and all of that will help Women's Wrestling Talk continue to thrive since 2017. So I am not alone. Speaking of Christina going to Vegas, Christina is also right here. What did you do,
I
Christina?
hope so. Doing good. I hope I can go to Vegas. Only if we get enough super chats can they pay for my gas to get there. So that's really what's stopping me.
There it is. Now, before, as far as paying for the gas to get there, this is a terrible transition. I thought of it and then I lost it. But let's talk about what Dylan needs is our SmackDown review, which is going to be happening later on tonight. You can catch our watch along with Honey. So definitely check that out. So as far as SmackDown, we have, oh my gosh, where is it?
And this mansion is a rental, but to help me keep it, super chats will definitely help that. My mansion in the background.
You know what? I had that screen before. So for SmackDown happening today, we have Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton versus The Vision, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. WWE United States Championship, Sami Zayn versus to be announced. Tiffany Stratton makes an appearance, and Damian Priest is also in action happening in just a little bit of time. It's going to be happening at the Heritage Bank Center, Cincinnati, Ohio. Is there anything that you're looking forward to see for tonight's show?
I want to know who Sami Zayn's going to go up against. I still am not sure how I feel about open challenges, but I'm really wondering who's going to pop out of the woodwork.
Yeah, that's
also always excited to see Cody Rhodes and the Vision, just the bronze, just to see what kind of shenanery transpires.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, definitely what's going to be happening with Sami, because kind of the ebbs and flows of him has been interesting, to say the least. Not everybody could be on top, so we're going to see how this is going to play out.
What Boza said, when does his luck run out?
That part. Excuse my dog in the background. She's talking to the neighbor's dog, because that's just what they do. Speaking of Damian Priest, he actually did an interview and he made mention saying Bad Bunny is returning to the ring, and it's just a matter of scheduling. Because I think, not congratulations to Bad Bunny. He's going to be doing the NFL halftime show. So there's that.
Shout out to the bunny.
Yes. And then he's been doing shows, pretty much worldwide. So this was said via TMZ. So one, do you think he's actually, does he have time to actually be, I guess, practicing and getting ready? Or do you think he's skilled enough that, when he comes back, he'll be ready?
I mean, he's a bunny of many talents for sure. I feel like he'll come back, Did you like that, TK?
That was a good one. That was a good one.
It's a bunny of many talents for sure. I don't know. I feel like Benito can do no wrong. So I feel like in between his shows, in between all his stuff, he's getting a workout in here or there.
It's funny,
and I
because
think he's also doing political stuff too.
Yeah, it's really funny because on my, I don't know even what app it is, but I have these access to music videos that I play while I'm cleaning and doing stuff. So I was actually going the deep dive of Bad Bunny's like catalog. And it's so interesting how, some people were upset that, he's going to be, I want to say essentially headlining, I want to say WWE, it's not WWE, headlining NFL, the Super Bowl.
It's why we're all watching.
Like, well,
Super Bowl, the halftime show is why we're all watching.
And everybody's like, well, we don't speak, well, not everybody. Some people are like, well, we don't speak Spanish. It's like, it's more about the music. Like you get the
understand what that man is saying.
Yeah. Hey Ronnie, how are you doing? So yeah, it's interesting. So, and I think it's the same thing for WWE. It doesn't really, he really put on such a great show the last time he was here. It's interesting that Damian Priest said this. Does that mean that his return is already been in play? Because when we watched what was it, the Netflix where they're talking about WWE
behind the scenes,
it's kind of like, what are you eating? Sorry, what are you
sorry
eating?
The dog is
oh yeah, trying to, I don't know where she got this pen from. Anyways, the Netflix behind the scenes, unreal, like it's like almost planting the seeds. Because why would you say that if
he's not
discussion
coming?
wasn't happening? Right. And it's already not in play.
Unless he's coming back. Wait, what month are we in? October?
October. And he has, okay, so
I would say Royal Rumble,
Bowl.
But would it be too early for him to be? Well, no, because that's around the same time, Royal Rumble and Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I think Super Bowl's after. Just after. So yeah. Yeah, that's interesting because I don't think he would come before, because the Super Bowl is such a massive undertaking, especially like just watching his music videos and watching some of his concert stuff. I don't think he's just going to do a performance. It's going to be a lot of things that are going to be happening that he has to prepare for. Bosa saying maybe SummerSlam. With Mania being in Vegas, I feel like, especially coming off of the Super Bowl, why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
I almost feel like he might do, if he does Royal Rumble, it's gonna be a quick in and out. I don't think it would be like a long appearance. Interesting.
Yeah, or maybe he'll do a lead up to WrestleMania. So we'll see. Needless to say, I think there's definitely a tie-in with the Super Bowl, Bad Bunny, and then Damian Priest mentioning this on TMZ. It's just and I love stuff like that. Right. I love stuff like that. Like, it doesn't
the psychology of it. Like, why did you say that, Damian?
Right.
Now I'm gonna be thinking about it.
Right. So Maria's saying Super Bowl is always is it mid-January?
Yeah, usually like late January. Oh wait, okay, Super Bowl. Super Bowl, it used to be, because I always used to follow my birthday. It used to be like late January to early, and then they started pushing it early February sometimes.
Right. Okay. So
like Royal Rumble and Super Bowl would like fall around the same time.
Right. But it's usually Royal Rumble first and then Super Bowl.
First.
So yeah. Yeah, I definitely, well, I mean, here's the thing. They can use Royal Rumble in order to kind of get the WWE fans
to go to watch the Super Bowl.
Right. There's that too. Yeah, it just seems so I like the guessing of it. I know some people don't want to like, oh well, leave the purity of it, but it's just kind of like, in the world we're living in with social media and all the things, like
there's nothing pure.
Right.
Nothing's left pure anymore.
Our producer from the future is saying it is February 8th this year, or in 2026. It's saying February 8th. With that being said, I really need to, so I don't know, I'll speak for myself, Christina. I'm not going to speak for you. I have been, after traveling, I actually got sick. And then it took me a while because my intent was to catch up on all the wrestling. And that didn't happen. So I'm really, really behind. However, I was just watching, or I was just looking at what happened at TNA recently. And this last show, if you guys haven't watched it, I suggest you do, because just even watching, or just even reading over what happened was great. So we have the Inspiration. They're now the new TNA Knockouts Tag Team champions, which is crazy because, I mean, as many of you guys know, they were part of WWE as the Iconics. They both got pregnant around. They both left at the same time. Obviously, they got pregnant around the same time. They came back to TNA. They left TNA. I think, what did they get pregnant that time? But
I don't remember.
their friendship is crazy in a good way, and now they're tag team champions, which is like a great swerve with everything. So speaking of that, a great swerve which you didn't expect.
Speaking of gifts from the Lord, I don't.
Okay, we'll go with it. Speaking of gifts from the Lord himself, not even on a Sunday, but on a Friday, the councilman
On the Lord's Friday.
On the Lord's Friday, surprised us with his presence, because we're all God's children, but the councilman is a special one. He's in the building with us.
See, that's how you segue, Christina. That's how you segue right there. Take notes, TK, because that is how you segue. Ladies and gentlemen, have no fear. Your councilman is here.
I feel counseled for sure.
It is great to have you counsel.
All right. Okay. All right.
She has no idea what
well, because you know what? So you know what I'm thinking of. So in I don't know if you caught that part of it. I was like kind of sick under the weather last week, and I stayed in bed for a couple days. And because I couldn't do anything, and I'm always in work mode, I actually started watching Godfather of Harlem. And in it, in the family, the brother is like a priest, and his brother is like the main gangster mobster. And that's when you're talking about Jesus and family and being counseled. This is where my mind went to. Christina's being counseled by the councilman on how to, I don't know, hit somebody with a sock of rocks or something, or how to
rocks.
Yeah.
The pinky ring don't make it any better.
I need a pinky ring. Damn it.
Doesn't
I don't even have anything that can stand in.
With that being said, what I was talking about, councilman, as I was talking about TNA, that happened. Oh my gosh, yesterday was Thursday. I was just reading over what happened last night, and I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but it was a crazy show. In just the notes that I'm reading over and the setup for everything, and the Iconics are now the women's tag team champions. So if you've watched the show, if there's any highlights that you want to speak about, let us know. Or if you have anything to say about the Iconic or the Inspiration.
No, you said it right. You got it right. You got it right.
I like the Iconics better.
It is like and the thing is, what I don't understand is, with TNA being in a partnership with WWE, why not give them that name back?
Right? Like, why did you have to change? There's no reason to change.
Yeah. Because even Kalani slightly dropped it Tuesday. So it's just like, yo, why not just give them that right to be able to have it, even with them being in TNA?
But is it too late now, though?
No, hell no. Because you saw how NXT crowd cheered when they said they're iconic. We still know the Iconics. Like, the only thing that is too late was WWE sleeping on them. We've never not liked the Iconics. We didn't forget about the Iconics. We've always wanted the Iconics to come back.
A legitimate tag team, period. Yeah. And we've talked about this a couple times on the show as far as tag teams. And again, we get, I'm going to preface this again. You don't have to be, wearing the same stuff. We, as in our discussions with WWT, prefer that. And we also know it also kind of, if we think that these people are legitimate tag teams, then we can believe that they're going to be together for a long period of time and all the things. And that's who the Iconics were or are, compared to other tag teams that they, they just put together, and it's like, okay, well, when are they going to break up? Because it's about to happen.
Yeah, I wish they changed that back. Give us the full return.
Give us the full iconic.
Yeah, man, give us the full. I'm trying to. I'm like everybody.
It was so good, yeah.
It was so good. It was like, yo, that was probably the biggest ball drop on their part in WWE. Like, there's been a lot of like ball drops, and we may have to have an episode about that. But like, that is one of the biggest ball drops I think WWE ever did, was not taking full advantage of the Iconics. And now that they're the TNA Tag Team Champions, it sits right. It feels right, and then hopefully they build a division around them. Yeah. But TNA was good. Just a good setup for NXT versus TNA. I'm not calling it the new thing. I'm not calling it that name. I liked it the first name for Tuesday. I'm not calling it that. And then and getting ready for Bound for Glory. Still not sure how all of this is gonna tip though. Like, it's starting to get me very interested, but I'm starting to feel like, okay, what's gonna happen at NXT versus TNA? And after this whole week pass, where do all the belts land?
Right.
So that's what they got me curious, because we talked about that on Kayfabe. Like, will the Hardys take all the gold? And Honey and Dion believe so. I don't.
No.
I think they might walk away dual champions.
Interesting.
Just like I think Mustafa Ali is going to walk away with the North American Championship.
Dang. Well, I mean, in the spirit of fairness, if there was fairness in storytelling, then yes. But I mean, going back to Godfather Harlem, also is whoever has the most amount of money can call the shots.
Yeah.
And in this instance, it's just kind of like, I think, and I'm always about, I would love to be in the boardrooms. I think TNA is benefiting as far as getting on a bigger stage than they were before, etc. However, we don't really know. I mean, we can, I'm sure we can find the ratings as far as how many people are watching, etc. But we don't really know for sure. And then at what capacity are we judging this by? If somebody knows who Gia Miller is compared to somebody else on WWT. Oh, sorry, WWE. So it's interesting to see if TNA is benefiting from this, because to me, if I were just kind of stepping back, it looks like WWE is benefiting way more from this, because now it just feels like sometimes it's like it's TNA's an extension versus something of its own.
It is, but also too, in a way, I think TNA is benefiting way more than people giving it credit for. Because something I said, how many people knew who Frank Kazarian was? You do now.
But the people that you're talking about, are they wrestling fans or mainstream media?
Both. There's a lot of people that still to this day know TNA but don't watch the product. So being able to see Frank Kazarian on WWE, and then even look at yesterday, him having Kalani Jordan and Trick Williams on his show.
Right.
Now it gives us a chance for us to know these people. Mustafa Ali, imagine Mustafa Ali and the persona he has now being the North American champion with Order 4. Tasha Steelz on NXT. And now being put in that women's division. So although people are kind of, stressing about where the gold is landing, you're still talking about TNA. TNA's logo is still being shown everywhere. Just like you said, from a money aspect, you don't see them 3 red letters.
Right.
So to see that being ran around, and now you care about it. Because like even the biggest thing, look at now how much everybody cares about Mike Santana winning the championship back.
Okay.
So, and again, too, look how it's making NXT stars relevant, because for a good second, we didn't know what was going on with Kalani Jordan.
Right.
She got too big for the Women's North American Championship, but there wasn't a place storyline wise right now to put her for the NXT Women's Championship. But we know we need to see her as a main world women's champion, and now she is.
But with that being said, right, Kalani Jordan being part of NXT, there are plenty of women on TNA. Like hypothetically, it's not a catch-22. It's kind of one of those things like, say if you were on the roster of TNA and now Kalani Jordan is now the champion, right? And you're on the roster, like, okay, well, what do I need to do in order to be in that championship picture? Like, how does that, play out? Because it's also, part of it's also politics, so.
Yeah. But it also goes to something that I've been talking about when it comes to WWE now, where there is now less of a focus on character development and storytelling because of how rapid things are coming out. So now we're throwing out names to fill in seats rather than bringing us in because of the rivalry that's going on. Because if you really think about it with the TNA roster, if I am thinking of it and I'm there, what woman right now has been positioned to carry that belt and carry the brand?
And that's the whole other thing. I think this is something that could be talked about even with AEW. It's one of those things where or even WWE to an extent. It's like, okay, there's gonna come a time. So wrestlers now, the wrestler life is extended. You're seeing wrestlers in their 40s and 50s, wrestling. You're not seeing them in their 60s. We'll see how it goes in the next 10 years. But what about all the ones who are coming up? It's like they're building up certain ones, but you have other ones that they're not building up. And then what happens when we have the ones who are in their early 40s or mid 40s all leave around the same time? We haven't spent the time in building them up. Yeah,
and that's what we talked about last night in kayfabe. Like, even in WWE, what happens when CM Punk leaves? What happened when John Cena is about to go? Brock Lesnar will not be there anymore soon. AJ Styles is retiring next year. Rey Mysterio is 50. God. Exactly. And right now, you have not built up anyone to stand there and hold the brand up because you haven't built them, or you try to keep them away from something. Like the fact that Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins have not crossed paths is a miss. That's your biggest heel and your other biggest heel, and we haven't had no interaction. Those are your biggest factions, and there's been no crossover. And I don't want to get too veered off when I say the statement, but you're now bringing Jay down to put this Roman story in to keep Roman relevant because Jay is now bigger than Roman. And so instead of pushing him as a champion, it's now, let us pair him with Roman and do this big buildup of him being the tribal chief. First of all, we know he's not going to be tribal chief. Roman just became tribal chief 5 years ago. And that's even expanding from outside of just the storyline of wrestling. You're now the head of the Anoa'i family. Sika gave you that Ula follow. Like, he's not finna pass that to Jay right now. That's a whole generational thing. So everything they're doing with that, putting him with the Usos, is like, why are you taking him away from everything that's been built up for him to be a staple when all of these people that y'all are trying to use to help fill seats, and you're taking it away from him? Like, just a few months ago, you were in the world title picture. Now you're back in a tag team with your brother, and you're kind of under the tutelage of Roman. Same thing with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Why are they a tag team? These two should be dominating. One of them should have been holding the Intercontinental title. And
they're pushing Braun Breaker,
Yeah. And then so that's the thing of like what we're seeing breaking down with NXT. What happens when Oba leaves? What happens when Trick? What happens when Ethan Page leaves? The only one you've been pushing, and again, he still needs some work, but it's getting better, is Javon Evans. And the person and the person you gave the belt to is Ricky Saints. And if we see Tuesday, Ricky was second chair. Trick and Javon were the leaders in that segment in the backstage picking the teams, not the current NXT champion.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we go down to TNA, it's the same thing. I don't have one person in the women's division right now that I could see putting that strap on to carry the brand. The closest one is maybe Indy Hartwell, and that's just because she's fresh off of just coming in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because,
so on the women's, go on. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying because you haven't built them up. That was it.
On the women's for TNA, you have Zaya Brookside, Victoria Crawford. Let's see, the Inspiration, which they're already champions. The Elegance brand, Tessa Blanchard, Tasha Steeles, Steph DeLander, who I believe is injured. Rosemary, Mila Grace. Let's see,
Kylie
Moore. Marsha Slamovich, which
Jody Threat.
I mean, there's that. Jody Threat. Yeah, and you said Kylan King, Killer Kelly,
Jada Stone.
Yeah, Jada Stone,
Harley Hudson.
I think that's Dana Luna.
The Elegance girls.
And Alicia Edwards. So it's not a big roster, but you can definitely, I mean, name value alone, whether you love her or hate her. I mean, Tessa Blanchard is a name that will draw something.
And I don't understand why she's not in the women's TNA team.
Right.
Which I didn't understand. I get the champion. I get the Inspiration. Where was the TNA staple, though? Like you got with Frank Kazarian and Moose. I get she's controversial right now, but it's like, I would use that to our advantage.
Tessa Blanchard controversial right now, or just from everything? Because I haven't heard. Has she done it? Does she done something else lately?
Well, no, she hasn't done nothing else lately, but WWE is scared to have her on the PLE and people screaming out, "She's a racist."
Here's the thing. For what you just said, right? You can't. Not you, but you can't say that in the same vein and then have the person who we're also going to talk about later today who had a street dedicated to him. Like you can't if you're going to back people, then and again nothing's fair, but that's the reasoning behind it. Then there's a lot of people that they should be distancing themselves from. So you can't be selective here and then selective there. I feel like if you're going to punish her or whatever, then like why are we here? Why is she signed to TNA?
Yeah,
if they're not going to utilize her to for expansion, full potential.
Yeah,
because out of all the other names, like I feel between like her and Victoria, which is a good partnership, that's something that you can kind of roll with. Like you can shout all that stuff as much as you want, but when did we go to that TNA thing? Was it this year or was it last year? I don't know.
That was last year. I think that was August.
Oh my gosh. So like ago. So it's just kind of like she's not, as far as we know, she's not going anywhere. So
you knew what it was.
Utilize her.
Yeah, you knew what it was when you signed her and you brought her back. The same way you knew what it was when you brought Brock back.
Right.
You knew what you were doing when you did it. So it's like, that's someone that you could build a women's division around. And again, use the story.
Mm-hmm.
Use the story. Like
that's a good one.
Wow.
Tessa versus Charlotte.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I like it.
But that's the thing. It's like they like the WWE and all of a whole, like with NXT and TNA, it's like y'all need to find a way. If y'all gonna keep moving at this pace, you need to find a way on how do you build up these new up and coming stars, because y'all are not doing it. That's why you had that debacle of a match that you had last Friday for the women's championship with Tiffy, Jade, and Nia.
Oh God.
Yeah, because it's everybody's fault. In that match, it is everybody's fault, including WrestleBay. I know people trying to go, hey, no, she didn't know. She knew that Nia's face was this way. Throw the count out loud. Say the 1, 2, 3 so she can hear you. You didn't do that. You got two people in Jade and Tiffany who don't possess the full ring IQ yet because that takes time.
Right.
You have Nia Jax, who is starting to get lazy again in the ring, which is why now Jade got that big gash on her head. So you got someone who got 1 foot in and 1 foot out because she's a Nepo baby, which is also very sad because of the potential that she got.
Mm-hmm.
This is why Tiffany has had a very mediocre run, and that's coming from the councilman, who she's my client. But when you have no one for her to grow off of, for no one for her to be able to put in the fire and for her to progress better, this is the results that you get. And then the two people you could do it with, they're in a tag team, which is Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss.
So here's a question, and I was gonna say I'll explain the behind of this question when we're done the show. But do you think that where WWE is right now, given everything where they are with the partnership with TKO, Endeavor, etc., and all the amazing things that they're doing now, and these big contracts that wrestlers getting, I'm not saying take away anybody's money, but do you think that a lot of wrestlers are getting too much too fast, and therefore with it's taking away from like just wrestling?
I think so, because you're trying to be like AEW, but the problem is AEW has way more people than you that have already been established, that are already there. Like, again, you don't like what was the last one they had that was in Toronto? All Out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watched all of All Out. I watched the entire thing. Right. And what they did was, I did not need to watch a single week of Dynamite to know what was going on. They were able to put the big names that they needed, and that was the draw. It's like, oh, okay, I know who Kyle Fletcher is. Oh, and he going against Hangman? Okay, I'll go watch it, because we know they're going to put on a phenomenal wrestling show. So that's what they've learned to do. We have enough big names to where we can just say, hey, it's going to be Edge and Christian versus this guy. Okay, I'll check it out. You don't have enough of that in WWE anymore. You have 10 big names that you can put to sale, and everybody else, no one knows them. The fact that Selena Vega still gets no pop and y'all have done nothing to build her up says a whole lot.
Yeah, after all these years.
The fact that you couldn't figure out what to do with Ludwig Kaiser, an incredible in-ring performer and a dope-ass personality. Instead, you put him as El Grande Americano. You don't have enough names to go, hey, we're going to keep doing at least 2 PLEs or have at least a 2-week period before another PLE, and we're just going to throw it in and hope it sticks. The fact that Perth is next week, and the fact AJ Styles and John Cena did not share a ring to do a promo, should show you how messed up this is. Even AJ isn't in there really talking about it. Instead, hey, we're going to put him in a tag team with Dragon Lee and let him go do that. Like, what are we doing? But you're so focused on the big names because y'all know that that'll bring in tickets, that you're not worried about, okay, what comes next when these people can't go anymore. And I think that's one thing TKO has not thought about yet, is that you're in an industry that is very much dependent on a person's health. And God forbid any of this happens. What if all of your big names all of a sudden get hurt? What happens if Cody has to go do a movie and he ain't going to be here for 6 months? The fact you're bringing back the tribal chief who don't need to be here right now, if I'm just being honest, and you're utilizing him in all the wrong ways. Roman had gotten to a position where Roman needed to step away for at least a year, let WWE reshape and remold into the next level, and then let him come back and see where he falls on the totem pole. So then now we have enough people brought up to where it's like, ooh, man, that match between him and Braun Breaker going to be insane. And it's not going to be unbelievable where, Roman going to definitely squash him. It's like, nah, Braun Breaker might give him that work, but y'all not doing that. You're not even utilizing your. How the hell do you have Finn Balor and JD McDonough as a tag team for over 150 days and they only defended it 3 times?
I mean, that's happened a couple of times with some people too. So
that's horrible booking. That's horrible. You have the War Raiders beefing along with Penta in a 6-man match against the New Day. And then you make the New Day be in singles action against Penta. When Penta should be fighting Dominic Mysterio for the IC title. So again, y'all are not thinking about nothing. The fact that Friday Night SmackDown is now the same as Raw. How you have Monday Night Raw for almost 6 weeks in a row in with the Braun Brawns in the tag team match?
It is. That's true.
So here's the thing. Do you think that and I think I've said this before, we're serving too many masters? Do you think say WWE had all the money that they needed and the deals to do everything, and now Triple H can do Triple H. He doesn't have to answer to anybody. Do you think that we would have the shows or the matches that we have right now? Or do you think that the partnerships are playing a hand in the matches that we're getting right now?
Partners are definitely playing in the hand that's being done right now. Even look at the fact of going to Saudi for WrestleMania. I'm not against Saudi Arabia in no type of way, but it's like we all know them be side quests. So now you're having a big show there. What happens? And I've always said what my biggest gripe about that is what are the women gonna do? Being fully dressed up to here, and all of them got to have matches in that incredible heat. And then you're at the show of shows, so you know they're gonna go extra hard for this.
Right.
But then what's gonna happen? So it's like
it's better. I mean, remember when they first went, they were wearing those, like they were wearing all the things, and then they were
onesies.
Yeah.
Oh, and the shirt on top of the onesie. Yeah.
And the shirt on top of the ones. Now it's kind of changed a little bit. I equate it to like track. Like if you watch different people, particularly the women, and what they wear, you have the ones wearing like long tights or short tights or booty shorts and stuff like that. I think if they're chosen and their matches are there for WrestleMania, they'll figure it out. Like, I understand the heat part, what you're talking about. However, in the midst of it, and maybe you could speak more to this because you've been in the ring, in the midst of it, are you even thinking about all that stuff? I kind of think about, like, today, somebody was irritated about a song that was being played at the gym, right? I didn't even hear the song because I'm trying to get through this workout. So,
It ain't that just that part. I'll give you a match where you do think about it. Goldberg and Undertaker. A lot of people want to say, oh, because they older that happened. No, they got heat exhaustion and Goldberg passed out. Why? Because that match was over 5 minutes. It wasn't a quick match. So again, now what started happening when you had these women in straight latex that we like, again, now this is something that maybe y'all can speak to that's not that breathable. And you're moving around for over 5 minutes in 110-degree weather. And that's just here. When you start getting down in the ring, it's even hotter because the lights.
Right.
So it's just like, have they thought about that? Or like you said, is it just about the dollar?
No, we'll find out with that. I'm debating on whether we should we're not even gonna talk about the story. It's not even deserved to be talked about, but we can definitely talk about this story. Leah Hirsch, she signs a moving right along. Yeah, multi-year deal after leaving AEW. And so here's we were talking, Christina and I were talking about this because apparently this company is in California. And so here's the thing that I wonder with stuff when they say multi-year deal, does that mean that as a wrestler you can live off of that, or is it more a commitment? Because every deal is like a little bit different. So first off, congratulations to her. That's, first and foremost.
Shouts
Always
out.
love, you know, wrestlers to be able to go places and do what their craft is. But I guess the next question is the fact that, and clearly I don't know every promotion that's out there. But the fact of the matter that we have a promotion here that's in California, which 3 of us live in, then we haven't, I don't know, Will, have you heard of this promotion?
What's the name
Genesis
of
Premier.
No.
Genesis Premier.
Premier League.
Mm-mm. I've not heard of that one.
So like we
Course I
have,
know.
you know, all these promotions, and it's kind of one of those things that is there, I don't want to say is there too much wrestling, but like what's with these promotions, what are they doing wrong or doing right in order to support, you know, giving somebody a multi-year contract?
I mean, from what we just learned with Jasmine Nix, you ain't got to do much now. Now that I learned that, like, yo, the fact that Jasmine Nix was only making $75,000 a year, and then they wanted to re-sign her with just that, like, that's $5,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yo, for some of these ones that ain't got the WWE brand, like how you said, TK, if you leave, you know, you still got that WWE stamp. Some of them don't have that. So
Right.
A lot of these cats, like with their like wrestlers, don't get paid like people think it is. So if you start getting a promotion that got enough backing, and it's like, okay, if I just need 5 to 10 people that I only got to pay maybe 75 to 80 a year to be there, and I know they're gonna come in and at least fill in half of the seats I'm there for, then I can be good. But I think too, also people forget how many wrestlers are around now.
Right.
A lot.
The good thing about this promotion, which is great, is well, they need to fix their links. That's one thing. It's a women's promotion.
Is it? Why do I not know about it?
Probably,
you know what?
Into it.
And also too, this is not the first. There's a couple other women's promotions that are popping up, so definitely kudos to that. I just, you know, it's one of those things. I don't know. We'll see how it progresses. I don't know where the next show is going to be because the link is not working. But we're not trying to tear down. Like, congratulations to Leela. It's just one of those things that, like, I don't know. It feels like the most closest thing I can think about is like CrossFit. If you guys were there for like the CrossFit era, CrossFit was blowing up everywhere. There are like gyms, quote unquote, boxes all over the place. It was in California all the time. They ended up moving from California to I don't know, somewhere far. And there was something that happened with the main office, and it's like no longer as big as it was. And I don't think that's necessarily going to happen to wrestling on a whole. I just feel like for some of these promotions and even some of the stuff that WWE and AEW is attempting to do, I don't know if it's going to be sustainable with all the ESPN app with the you know, all the apps of ROH and TNA and all. It's like, is there enough? And where we are in society, and I'm just speaking as far as North America, I don't know anywhere else, where we are in society as far as people not making as much money, like, is this all sustainable that we're actually able to support the people that we want to watch? So that part is, I think maybe we're 3-4 years off from whatever craziness might happen. But it's just kind of like where we are right now. Like, you know, they just raised Hulu. Hulu's like $100 right now. Then you have Netflix. Then you have all these, and now they just added the ESPN app. And now AEW you still have to pay for the pay-per-views, which is like $50. Like, it's a lot of money.
It's the wrestling boom though. Like, so it's one of those things, if you think about it, wrestling's hot. And now people and the big thing I think a lot of people aren't talking about is that this type of wrestling just became a sport. So that's the thing a lot of people aren't talking about, like how Triple H is. We're not just entertainment anymore. So now it's a sport, which means now it's going to move into the Olympics. So don't be shocked if it's not the one here in Los Angeles, but the one after, where they're now including this into the Olympics. But now it's a ground.
Was it already Paralympics?
How do you include it into the? I mean, it is part of the Olympics, but you're talking about pro wrestling in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. If you really think about it, wrestling's worldwide. You don't think there's a place where you have Germany's best versus Trick Williams for America?
Well,
6-man tag matches, Iron Man matches.
I get that part.
Matches.
I get that part, but I think the thing that's for me that's kind of like, okay, unless these are not going to be predetermined, because you have all these people who are training 4 years to get to the Olympics, and there's nothing predetermined. I've known people who they've trained their whole life, they finally get to the big stage, and then they crash over their hurdles. I've known people who, you know, they're online to be the champion or win the gold in swimming, and they're not able to do that. So with wrestling, professional wrestling, it's kind of like, how are we going to, like, I guess, justify that? Because
when it's predetermined.
Yeah,
the same way we justify watching NFL and NBA, all that shit predetermined.
That's what I be saying, but some people be getting mad
right.
when I say
you can't tell me I've watched Steph Curry.
That's what I said the other day.
Right, shoot from a fucking hallway across and that bitch go through. Right, and now all of a sudden, oh, you missing these shots? No, this is predetermined. Because again, like you said, TK, money is involved. Story is involved.
Well, you and me are.
Yeah, I'm telling you, yo, it's left WWE.
I was just saying that the other day, and I was making people upset.
Because it's true. It's like, yo, you cannot sit here and tell me like, so y'all been playing like this whole time. Now all of a sudden, y'all trash. Now all of a sudden, y'all can't make y'all shots. You got LeBron doing this layup almost fucking 4 months out of the row, and now all of a sudden he's not getting it. No, no. And for us as wrestlers, we know stuff is predetermined, so we can look at it like, I think they made that happen.
Something's not up to snuff. I'm saying
right. Something's not right with this. To be able to say like, yo, y'all 4 games ahead, it's 4-0, and that the opposite team's coming back. Y'all just
so much money on the line, right? To just let it be up to chance.
Yes, you remember. You got, again, like you said, TK.
Yo,
money. Do you know how much money? Like, yo, do you, like, a lot of people don't know because they don't really tell the story. Do you know how much money CEOs, Fortune 500 companies? Do you know the biggest sports event that they bet on to make millions towards triple million digits on? Do you know what that bet was for?
No.
College football. Do you know how much people were making betting on college football? To the point where college students were like, nah, we playing, we need to get paid. We need to get paid. You know how much money EA made making NCAA football video games, and none of them were getting money?
Oh, well, yes. Yeah.
It's all about the money. Like, I went to high school with Jamal Charles, and he was telling me about how they had to fight to make sure he got the right checks when he was in the regular league. So it is all about the money. It is all about, like, everybody has a hand in there. You even go back to Hollywood. Hollywood producers aren't making the decisions, brands are.
Right.
When you go to present a movie, you're not sitting with all of Universal. You're sitting with somebody from Apple. You're sitting with somebody from Verizon. You're sitting with somebody from TNT. You're sitting and talking to them, trying to explain to them a movie. And it's like, hey, I'm pitching you this movie. It's like, you know what? We like that. But what do you think about Ryan Gosling playing the character?
Right.
But this is a Canelo biopic about a Mexican boxer.
Not a Mexican boxer.
We can dye his hair red.
We should get Ryan Gosling.
Not red.
Like
Canelo.
Like what? But like, well, you can either do that, or we can take back our $12 million check that we're gonna give you for this movie and to put our product in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody's appealing to all of them. So wrestling
Mm-hmm.
being in the Olympics ain't the craziest thing. But I say all of that to say it's a big boom right now. And what a lot of people are probably doing with these promotions are trying to get them established enough to where the big ones come and buy them up. Just like you're seeing with WWE partnering with TNA as they've bought up AAA.
Just like but AAA and TNA have been around like.
But again, that's now. Look at the WWE ID. Look how, again, it's going to become a property that's about to become like Monopoly for wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get my promotion big enough, now and again, it don't have to be incredibly big. I just have to show like, yo, every month I'm booking seats. I'm filling out $10,000 seat arenas. I'm now going to do a stadium show now with my stuff. Here comes WWE. Hey, we'll buy your stuff out for $600 million. Here you go. Here you go. Hey, y'all going to WWE. Whatever they finna do with y'all go there. That's what people be looking for. Remember when we had the tech swell? How many apps we saw come out get bought up? Social media. Look at social media. Who owns everything? Meta. Meta bought everybody.
Dylan. Dylan said, so what Will is saying is that CW doesn't want Will to watch NXT, so they make it too expensive.
That's exactly what No, they make it unable to watch unless you got cable.
Yeah.
I'm not buying cable.
Yeah. Inaccessible.
Yeah.
This is an accessibility issue.
So much. I'm like, your app sucks. You don't do nothing live. All it is like, hey, it's coming on at 6:00. Either go for what you know or we'll catch
or don't.
That's it. It's like, yo, when does CW become UPN again? When that happened?
That part, and then like
miss UPN.
Wow, I can't even.
Too.
All right. Well, speaking of streamers, so yes, you want to take it away, Christina?
Where is it? Shouts out to the Hardys and Kai Cenat. Where is it? Where is it? Because there's a couple things going on with this one. But Matt Hardy crediting Mr. Beast employee for setting up the Hardys' appearance on Kai Cenat's stream. Did anybody catch that stream? I've only caught highlights. I didn't watch the whole stream.
Was this one before LeBron or after LeBron?
This was before LeBron.
It looks like it's before because it's on the 20th.
Yeah.
But on pretty recent, on Sunday the 28th, Matt and Jeff appeared on Kai Cenat's Mafiathon stream to a lot of fanfare, which my favorite part of this article is when Kai Cenat said that he's 3 top dream people for coming on to his stream included Oprah Winfrey, Obama, and the Hardy Boys. And I feel like that's a solid list to be.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine Obama's about is definitely gonna come on eventually. Oprah,
man, Obama,
I don't know about Oprah.
I heard Obama's Obama will be on there.
Yeah.
Obama.
That's it, easy. Oprah, I don't know, because I don't know that's that.
I'm not gonna say what I was about to say on that one. Yeah.
I want all 3 of them at the same, or I guess 4, all 4 of them to get at the same time. That would be like a round table.
It's so crazy. It's not crazy. It's one of those things that the Hardy Boys, because you remember, Christina, when we were watching LFG, like the Hardy Boys are so influential across. It's so like
part of the culture,
right, an underground part of the culture. Like I went to it was then Impact, a Vegas show, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and I brought a friend of mine who's from Belize, and he knew nobody else except for the Hardy
Boys.
Yeah, right. So it's just kind of one of those things that no matter where you are in the world, they're definitely known. And then, speaking of streaming and stuff like that, I definitely agree that things are changing faster you know, if WWE or wrestling, pro wrestling is in the Olympics. You know, maybe one day we don't necessarily need cable in order to watch NXT because now it'll be on a different streaming service that we're not going to have to pay for. Like there's just so many different things that are happening right now, that the cross section of wrestling and mainstream media and culture is it's very interesting with all these deals, the deals with Saudi Arabia, where TNA and NXT are going to be. There's so many different moving parts that I would like. I've said this plenty of times. I would love to be a fly on just seeing what these. I wouldn't even tell anybody. Just like, look, Triple H, just let me. I'm just curious. Just let me know. I just want to know. I want to know how.
It's just for me and my journal.
Me and my journal, like the whole Bad Bunny thing. Like, come on,
shoot,
now.
this EA thing. Saudi Arabia bought up EA for $55 billion.
Jesus.
They own the Sims now. I like take that in. A Saudi Arabia company owns the Sims now and EA Electronics. I was like, yo, how did that happen? Like you said, I just want to be.
Yeah, just fly on the wall.
Like I want to be like Patrick Star. I just want to be like suctioned to the wall.
Yeah.
Like a starfish.
And then just go back.
Yeah. Because it's so interesting when you hear these deals. No, go on, Christine.
Oh, how I was gonna say how I know things are getting super mainstream. This is just my weird way of determining is like when I see merch, like wrestling merch. I used to have to go to like a comic book store to get wrestling shirts, and now you can get it at PacSun, and you can get it at Tilly's, and you can get it on TikTok Shop. I'm like, what?
They're at Walmart. They're at certain Walmart.
I have to go to like underground, like comic book shops, and it would be like on the bottom, and they had one size.
Yep. And I think people tend to forget though, it's like wrestling is the greatest blueprint of everything. Look at everyone that comes in. You no longer have to be like, yo, I want to be a wrestler. Like The Miz was a reality star. You have had people who were models that were like, yo, let me come in, do this, and then dip. John Cena made fun of The Rock for going to Hollywood and said, I'll never leave. I would never disrespect y'all like that. Are you one of the most top actors right now in Hollywood?
Yep. And voiceover artists for like every commercial out there.
Exactly. So it's like, yo, like they have found a way to be able to go like, yo, I can bypass other lines to be able to get where I need to go. And it's that's why it's like, this
but
is
here's the question. Here's the question. And we can go one of two ways because we have WWT After Dark happening after SmackDown today. But the question is kind of going back to what we were saying with TNA and going back to what we were saying with, you know, eventually a lot of wrestlers are going to be leaving due to age, etc. And we have a lot of wrestlers that are not getting built up. In this current climate with Triple H kind of serving so many different people, how does one who doesn't already have the rocket on their back get to that spot?
Cody Rhodes has the best. Well, Corey Graves gave it best to Cody Rhodes and they come back. You have to go from undesirable to undeniable. And I think nowadays you have so many platforms now where you can become that. So go to social.
On your contract, though.
No, not even just that. Like even contract wise, cool. But again, you can't deny when the people want this. So get on Instagram, build your brand. It's the same thing like where, you know, we people in Hollywood are kind of having that issue where what was it? I'm gonna throw a lot of wrong names out of here, but it's all about Instagram is a billboard for you. How much money are you worth? So the example I'll give is there was a new show that was out with the dude. His name is Glenn Powell. He was in Twister, the new Twister movie and everything. He has his own show. And there's a girl in there who her first name is Heather. And she was cast to be on there for like one scene on
Right.
there. And she threw herself a viewing party for this episode that was going to come out. And her scene came, and they placed her scene and reshot that and replaced her with the Hawk Tua girl.
Oh,
and she flipped out because she was like, yo, that's my scene. This is what he's about to say right here. We shot this scene and they replaced me with the Hawk Tua girl. And they said they replaced her because she had a bigger following than her. And that's the thing that's the world we're living in now. Big companies don't want to invest blindly anymore.
Yep.
That's why you see so many reboots. That's why you see so many remakes. We are not finna risk our dollars, especially with the way the world is right now. If you can't fill in seats, then we're not finna put our money behind you. So until you're able to become a big commodity, that's why it's harder now for people to come up. It's not just one of those, hey, I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna make the crowd go, and then we'll get there. And then it's now even tougher because you don't do so many house shows anymore. And the house shows that you do feature the people that's on TV all the damn time. So you don't get a chance for the crowd. You don't get a chance for the crowd to build you up unless you get put on main event, and nobody talks about main event. They do not promote main event at all. That's just one of those, hey, you still in the ring? Y'all still here? Listen, before we get started with NXT, we're gonna do some main event matches. And it's like, yo, word? Like, y'all not even gonna televise or put this out? No. We just, this is to keep y'all entertained till the show starts.
There it is.
So you got to be a dollar sign. So even to like again, Zelina Vega pushed it the right way with what she's doing. It was just at the wrong time. And then when you got the machine and it's like, okay, how does this fit in right now?
Right.
So it's all about,
I
think
that's the question, like the machine. So
it's
like,
all about timing.
Right. Like, say you're doing everything. I'm willing to bet there are wrestlers who are, and it's not to say all wrestlers need to follow this, like, because social media, and I think you could speak to this more, Will, like, is a lot. Like, even if you have the dollars to get somebody to film you, it's like it's a lot. It's a lot that you're putting out for the hope that, you know, people will share, for the hope that people will like, for the hope that, you know, they'll follow you on different platforms, for the hope that they will, you know, purchase your merch if you have merch. Like, it's a lot, right? And it takes a lot off of the even the person with the biggest personality. It takes a lot of energy. So say if you're putting in that work, but the machine is not by you, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are, you know, for Zelina Vega, for other wrestlers that are pushing for, I mean, me and Naomi, right? Like, now she's getting love, but we've been pushing for her for a very long time, right? And so it's just like, not necessarily what do you do then, but like, there's a big difference to, okay, this is what the crowd wants, this is what the company wants, and, you know, who's the company gonna pick that the crowd has picked to put the rocket on that person's back? And there's only so many people. Like The Rock, John Cena, you know, with those two people, imagine if they weren't pushed by the company.
Yeah.
Like, would they be who they are right now as far as bridging into the movies and stuff like that? Because you have wrestlers who are in movies, but they're not The Rock or John Cena.
No,
they're not calling shots.
And again, they don't. Well, the thing is, they don't have a machine behind them, and there's certain risks that you don't take or push. And so then that's the thing too. It's really just, it's for them. It really is being able to pay attention where you're at right now and where you want to go. So what do you speak up for? And so I think one of the biggest things too that's going to have to change, especially with WWE, once these big names that y'all keep going are drawn, you're going to have to rechange your whole strategy. And I think we've talked about it before, of having the actual wrestlers in the writing room. Like, yo, sit down with Zelina Vega and say, hey, pitch me your story to get you to Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
What's your ideas to get you to Royal Rumble? Who would you like to work with in order to get you to the Royal Rumble? Because that's the thing that's missing now when we were watching Unreal. It's like, no offense, like, yo, why you got all these 40 to 50-year-olds?
Who are you? Who is you?
Yeah, why you got these old white men in here making all the decisions for people? Like, because I think of that not from a term of just, trying to be like, like judging based off the color of your skin, but it's like, I think of it like graphics. I can't be a 60-year-old man making marketing campaigns for 18-year-olds. I don't relate to them. I don't know what they want. I don't know what the fuck aura farming is or glazing. I don't know what the hell that is. But get me somebody in that age that can speak for them, that can represent for them.
Right.
And it's like, that's not what y'all doing right now.
But here's the problem. I think why it's kind of one of those things with the age part in that example, because you have people who have been in the game and they know the pitfalls. So therefore, that going back to the money, they're able to gamble a little bit more because they have the experience. And they're able to say, okay, I've been in wrestling for this long. This is the formula that's worked, or these are the things that we can try that I know the crowd will get over. However, if you take somebody who is not, I don't want to say necessarily in business for themselves, it's like you can have Zelina Vega come and pitch her story, right? But if you take that chance, will it result in us not making money? Because what it all looks like is, does this idea now propel you in a certain way that people want to buy merch and people want to see you,
but
opposed to wanting just liking you?
But that's what I feel like needs to be in the writer's room. That's what I feel like what is missing. It's like, okay, if Zelina Vega walks in, not just her pitching, if the three of us are in here, let's say I'm the in-ring specialist, TK, you're the marketing specialist, and then Christina, you are the crowd specialist. Like, okay, how are we as a wrestler going to physically make her look in here? Christina, what are we going to do story-wise to get the crowd to either like her as a face or like her as a heel with the story we've been given? And then TK, how do we push brand-wise? With this run, can we get Maybelline behind this? What brands can we bring in to start strengthening her to be seen a little bit more? These are the things I feel like don't go in, because I put all my money in there. Bobby Roode don't know shit about how to get somebody on a sponsorship or brand. All he know how to do is be able to tell a wrestling story. And now we're seeing that that's not enough. Yeah. Even with the stories that we're getting behind, it's like, yo, like, this was dope. We glad to see it happen, but this could have been done way better. And not judging them, not saying, oh, y'all not doing y'all job, but it's like, yo, the world is changing. And if y'all want to bring in new people, if you want to bring people who are not your traditional wrestling fans like ourselves on here, these are the things y'all gonna have to start implementing for this new generation to work. Because you have so many people on here that y'all are not utilizing in any way. You're not utilizing them in short form content. Like, what happened? Like, what happened to all the shows that used to be created? There's no more New Day podcasts. It's like, yo, all of y'all have these podcasts on with older people. Like, again, I love Stephanie's Places, but it's like, yo, where is the Kevin Owens and Kathy Kelly show? The one that Caleb Braxton was on. Y'all don't even push that no more. You don't even push the Raw after post show. The one they had for SmackDown when it was Renee and Daniel Bryan. That was fire. And y'all don't do that anymore. To where somebody else can be starting to become relevant, because that's what put the Miz back on.
But it's always return on investment.
Yeah, so you're limiting the chances with them, but it's like, yo, like, these are the things that really need to be discussed. If we're now worried about the dollar, what can we do? What can we bring in? Because it's like, I'll even ask right now, off of the top of your head, give me 3 brands that Bronson Reed could have sponsoring him.
3 big bands that can actually support or to actually give WWE the kind of money that WWE is. Yeah, that's the hard part, because I could like you could go in something like, you know, sports nutrition or stuff like that, but they need money.
Yeah, but again, which ones have you not got yet that might want to get behind them?
Do we have as far as like if we're with WWE, is Old Spice a sponsor?
Not anymore.
I haven't seen it.
And that'd be perfect for Old Spice. You got Minute Maid. Why would you not have Old Spice?
Yeah. I don't want to take away D-Ray's job, but could you imagine one of the wrestlers doing what D-Ray's doing?
Could you imagine Ludwig Kaiser, the face of Old Spice?
Mm-hmm.
Just to oh, yo, Old Spice. It's like, yo, it's right there. But y'all are not thinking of them like that because you're so gun-ho on what's popular. And so what I'm seeing is we're not breaking these down into tiers. We're not going, okay, who are my people in the writer's room that's focused on the ones that's not doing so well? Who are the ones that are less on TV?
So Dylan's saying also Nike, but the whole thing with Nike, and I think the whole thing that you're also saying too, Will, is that at the end of the day, it's kind of like there are a lot of people who, or a lot of companies who would want to be sponsors for the Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. The price that the Super Bowl is charging, it's not happening. And I think too, where WWE is right now, they're in a really great place where they can charge whatever they want for these crossovers. And if you can't afford it, then you just can't afford it. But the problem is that takes out a lot of companies from being involved. So I don't know. Like it's very, and maybe we could finish this up on WWT After Dark. It's very interesting. Maybe we'll give our blueprint on WWT After Dark, so then WWE can take that and apply it. And they pay the membership, so then they'll be able to take care of Will, so we can get the cable that he needs to watch that. But something else that we need you guys to do is definitely support Women's Wrestling Archive, which is a passion project for us. And without y'all, it's not gonna happen.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches January 1st, 2026, and it's gonna pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might say he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate $1, $5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Donate today.
All right. Donate. We really appreciate it. With that being said, it's time for us to get out of here. Make sure in 30 minutes, check out WWT. Honey will be doing a SmackDown watch along. That's my dog. She's ready to go for a walk.
I was like,
you
Will.
You thought it was.
I was like, what is that?
That was his stomach.
That's some indigestion.
Christina, where can everybody find you?
Everyone can find me when the stars perfectly align on WWT Live sometimes, and mostly for WoW Watch Along and LFG, which we'll be doing tomorrow. Don't hold us to it, but I feel really good about it. I'll be doing
Same here. Same. I agree. Will, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Will PHARAOH, PHARAOH. And I will be there Tuesday for a post show. Not saying a watch along, but we will definitely have us a post show after NXT versus TNA. I'm not saying the name that they got. I refuse to say that name. No, but we will have a post show. We're going to talk about it. So you're going to want to tune in Tuesday because I will be here.
There it is. And also don't forget to check out the interview that we did with Taya Valkyrie. She had a really interesting take about the WWE AEW crowds. You have to watch it because I'm not going to tell you what it was. So check that out. You can follow me everywhere at TK Trinidad. Make sure you check out Women's Wrestling Talk on all social media platforms at WWTalkPod.com. Thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one, my dogs look at me, women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WWTalkPod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet.